Hi there, John Wilkinson here, and as always, thank you for tuning in to my History Made Easier YouTube channel. I'm going to do a little series of 3 short videos that will look at different ways in which World War I questions could be thrown at you. I'm first of all going to look at why the Entente powers and their allies won the war, and so why Germany and its allies, the Central Powers, lost the war. I'm going to look at the way in which technology was used in the war and the impact that that had, and I'm going to look at the impact of the war on the role and status of women. So 3 short videos that I think will be useful for you. And so in this first video, we'll begin by looking at why the war was won and lost. Cheers. Why Germany lost World War I, why the Allied powers won. And in these kind of questions, I take a very simple approach. I call it the attack and defense approach to history. Do you praise the attack for scoring a goal, or do you blame the defence for letting it in? History is complicated enough. I think if we get the opportunity to simplify it, we should. So, 2 paper 3 questions for us to think about. Evaluate the reasons for Allied victory in the First World War, and discuss the factors that led to the defeat of Germany and the other Central Powers in the First World War. Now, as I put here, though the first question leans towards the Allied powers winning, and the second leans towards Germany and the other Central Powers losing, in both questions you should devote roughly 50-50 of your answer to what worked for one side and what led the other side to lose. Let's have a look at another question. German military and diplomatic errors were responsible for the defeat of the Central Powers in 1918. To what extent do you agree with this statement? Another paper 3 question. Now, any to what extent requires a balance. This question not only focuses on Germany losing, but on a specific reason for this. It looks at German military and diplomatic errors. And by the way, the diplomatic errors essentially is the fact that Germany gave America the excuse to enter the war. So, that is what your essay should address first, those 2 points. The rest of your essay should be a careful balance of other reasons for Germany losing, but also reasons for the Allied powers winning. So, selections to be made there, I think. Now, this is the material that we would use for any of those questions. When we're focusing on the winners, we can look at the support from the British and French empires. We can look at American support and then American entry into the war. We can look at the British blockade, and we can look at the home fronts. For a focus on Germany, the fact that it invaded Belgium, which brought Britain into the war, the failure of the Schlieffen Plan, which was the best moment for Germany to win. If it was going to win, it was going to win at the beginning. Then German mistakes, and this is linking to our diplomatic question, the unrestricted U-boat warfare and the Zimmermann telegram that brought America into the war. Domestic factors, the turnip winter when Germans were starving and eating nothing but turnips. strikes and other unrest in January and February 1918, the mutiny at Kiel, and the beginning of the German Revolution. And we can also look at Germany's last attempt to win the war, the failure of the Ludendorff offensive, or the spring offensive of 1918. And weak allies. Germany was really handicapped by having to prop up Austria-Hungary at key points. So there we have it, our little look at why one side won and why the other side lost. I hope you found that useful. The next video we're going to be looking at technology. But as always, thanks for listening. Cheers.